Hi, Rays of Light, and welcome back to my channel. This is Psychic Medium Raymond Guzman, and today I'm going to be doing a celebrity mashup and also a reading, a psychic reading on French Montana. This has been highly requested by many of you out there, so let's get into the mashup. So today, the first topic of discussion is on Mama June and Gino. For those of you that don't know who Mama June is, she is a reality TV star slash actress of the show Here Comes Honey Boo Boo, if y'all remember that show. And she was married to another guy, and she had, all of her children on the show. And then she branched out after that show and had her own show, Mama June. I can't remember the exact name, but it had her name in there. And it basically, on that show, I got to watch that show, well, most of it. I think the first season, where she was actually, losing weight and going through body transformation and whatnot. And when it comes to Mama June, I'm going to give you some psychic insight. And Gino, they recently are in the news because they have been arrested for possession of some uncontrolled substances and getting into some kind of domestic type of situation between the both of them, and they were both taken into custody. So this is like a legal issue for her. Mama June tends to put herself in these positions where she becomes kind of unhinged. I do feel like this is, from the psychic perspective, this is, a lot to do with her mind, her mental state, and where she's at. I don't feel like she's entirely happy with where she's at right now in her body. I do feel like I don't keep up with her, so I don't know if she's gained weight, but what Spirit is telling me is that all that weight loss that she went through, a lot of it she's gaining back due to depression. So again, this is going back to like your mental state and how, people see themselves in like body dysmorphia. A lot of people can go through surgeries or go through different procedures and they're just not happy with how they look or who they are. And I actually posted a picture of myself on Instagram because I can relate, as many people out there, many of my rays of light out there that are listening to this podcast or this mashup can possibly relate in their own personal life as well. For me, it was many years before, years of being abused and bullied by people in school. I just kept hearing "you're fat" over and over in my mind, and so you kind of tend to hate yourself or not like your body, and instead of embracing and loving who you are as an individual. And it took me years and years of me knowing that that's a lie and loving myself and eventually tuning that out so that I could love myself. So for a long time, on social media, like on Instagram, I will never post a picture of my full body because I was always subconscious of it or really conscious of how I looked. So I wouldn't do that. And I would just post maybe selfies of my torso, like from the chest up, and not really show my body. But I am at a point now with my journey of weight loss journey and getting fit. For me, I'm doing it all for me, and I feel comfortable in my skin regardless of what anyone else thinks about me or if they say anything about me. So I feel like many of you out there can relate to where Mama June is coming from. But as far as her life is concerned, I feel like she's going to continue to have some legal issues. There's an anger issue with her and getting that under control. Apart from what we've seen on TV where she has lost it and gone off, I don't feel like that is a lot of a character like script. I do feel like in many ways that is how she really is in real life, and I think it's because she doesn't love herself completely the way that she should be loving herself. And so that's going to, bubble out into her relationships. So whether or not her and Gino, stay together or whatever that situation is, I feel like eventually they're going to like just separate. It's very toxic. And I don't feel like she's ever going to be truly happy when it comes to her love life. And there's some people that are like that. And for her, I feel like her mission here and her life purpose and her life lesson really is about loving herself, because again, I don't feel like she entirely does and will ever, eventually be like super happy with the body that she's in. And it's sad because she is a beautiful lady, even through the surgeries that she's had and the weight loss. I feel like before she even had that, she was a beautiful spirit, but again, just people, y'all need to be very comfortable in the shell that you're in your own skin, and love yourself. This is a year about body positivity, and that's the message that I'm trying to push. um, you know Using my platform as well, so a lot of people out there can be inspired and love themselves, all of their curves, their cellulite, their fat, stretch marks, love it all, because you're beautiful the way that you are, and you shouldn't have to change. As far as Gino is concerned, I feel like, and I see that he is going to continue to have a lot of issues. I also feel like mentally he's not all there. There are some issues there, but again, this is not a diagnosis. It's just insight from a spiritual perspective that I'm giving. So those of you that are listening and think that I'm trying to diagnose them, I'm not. But it's just what I see. I don't know. You can comment in the comment section below and let me know what the tea is from your perspective. What do you feel, and what do you think about these two? Do you think there's a chance of survival? I really don't see it working out with them. There's going to continue to be issues with her. And I also feel like at a certain point with her, she is looking for love, or to align herself with someone to kind of not focus on herself and not focus on the bigger issues that are going on. Because I feel like, the guy that her ex that she was with, the one that is the father of Honey Boo Boo, she's really not over that he got married with another lady. I really feel in many ways that even though she said on the show, and she portrayed like she wasn't bothered by it, in many ways I do feel like it does bother her, and she does still have feelings at some level for him. So again, there's a lot of confusion with her, and I do feel like, her kids also, there's like a lot of issues and worries and concerns with Honey Boo Boo and her other daughter. Well, I think Honey Boo Boo's name is Alana, but the other daughter as well, I can't remember her name off bat, but the one with glasses. But yeah, there's a lot of family issues. This is a very complicated case with Mama June. I don't feel like she's gonna have a lot of success again in TV with all of these scandals and stuff, because typically nowadays, like, what's happening is that if you are a celebrity and you have any kind of legal trouble, for some people it's like career suicide. You really can't get back from that, and some people do bounce back from it. It just depends on where you are at. But all these actors and actresses that are coming out and being busted for lying, or for doing any kind of illegal activities, and etc., we're finding that their life is impacted in a negative manner, and their career, most of all, their career is impacted as well. So it's just crazy. But I wish Mama June the best, and I hope that whatever is going on with self-love, etc., that they get help. And I hope Gino gets help, because I feel like with him, he has some vices that are very, very unhealthy, and this could be like addictions to substances, etc., which makes sense because they were busted for that. But again, before I even knew that, you can just tell by looking at someone if they have some kind of issue. Well, at least I can. I don't know, but I can't speak for everybody else, but for the most part, I see that when I look at their eyes, usually in that, I can kind of tell. And that's the empath in me. That's the psychic ability of clairsentience and claircognizance. So, that is what I see for Mama June and Gino. But comment in the comment section below after this readings, this mashup and the French Montana reading, and let me know what you think. So let's get into the next one. All right, Soldier Boy arrested and released. And again, he was arrested for carrying some, I believe, some weapons. He has a history of having illegal weapons, or whatever, are firearms, etc. He's going to continue to have legal issues as well, is what I can see from him. He's trying to make a comeback. I don't feel like he's really gone anywhere, but the level of success that he's had with some of his songs recently, Ariana Grande did a cover of, she did a song called Seven Rings, and there was a lot of scrutiny on her part that she had borrowed a sample from one of, not borrowed, but actually stole, that's how it was reading on headlines about, she stole one of his samples, of his songs, like the beat or whatever, and used it in her song Seven Rings. But, of course she added her flavor to it. But the whole thing is with Soldier Boy, I feel like there is some greater issues here as well. Again, with substances, this is something that he's going to have to really watch, because I feel like if he's not careful, he could also be busted on that sooner or later. I just feel like he's not in a good place mentally either. Feels like very distant, very void, a lot of sadness, a lot of pain. I don't feel like he's very comfortable right now in the music scene. There's a lot of competition, a lot of fresh people out there that are fresh talent and that are younger than him. And this is the thing with the music industry, is like what, like I've said before, time and time again, you are replaceable. Like after a certain amount of time, we like, furniture or a vehicle depreciates. Well, in Hollywood and in these music industries, so does an artist. So after you get to a certain age, like in your 30s or mid 30s or 40s, you're no longer as relevant as someone that is in their 18 or 18 to 25, 26. That's like the peak of a career for an artist. And that's not always the case, of course. I'm not sitting here and talking, and saying that that is the case for everybody. But I really do feel like he is going to continue to have issues with the law if he's not careful. And again, there's a lot of things that are run deeper, like his music, that he is wanting to put out. And most of all, the worries. He seems very worried, and it's not just the photograph here, but I feel like deep down, he is very, he's a person that thinks and analyzes a lot, to the point where there is a lot of worries. I do feel like there are some enemies that he has as well that have made threats to him. And again, there could be something with like a shooting. If not careful, not necessarily that he's going to get shot, but maybe he would be someone that, is involved in it in some way, like organized criminal activity is what I'm trying to say. So again, yeah, he just needs to be very careful over the next 2 years, and focus mainly on his music. That's where his passion has always been, and kind of get back into the music, where he wants to be. But I do feel like he has, he also has burned some bridges, and talked about other rappers, etc. So he is someone that is not really respected in a lot of the social circles of rappers. And I hate to say it, but that's what I see, honestly. And again, this is not me, taking jabs at him or etc., because I think he's very talented. And I loved a lot of his music when he first came out, and he did a collaboration, I believe, with Destiny's Child. I can't remember if it was on Survivor, the song Survivor. It was one of the songs. I remember he did some kind of remix with them, or some kind of collaboration on one of the songs. But yeah, I used to watch Soldier Boy, and I used to listen to some of his music. So I really feel like, he really is just needing to get back to that place. But the energy from him right now is that he's so like kind of lost in the direction that he wants to go, and that even though he's still playing at shows and still, releasing some type of, working on music, I just feel like it's not at the level that it's needing to be. He could do so much more and do better if he was putting all that energy and anger and frustration that he is channeling towards other people and putting it into his music. He really could be on top again, and just really, go up, take it to the next level. So again, there's a lot to be seen when it comes to Soldier Boy, but he'll continue to be in the headlines because, like I said, he is trying to make a comeback, if you want to call it that, or be more relevant than what he used to be. But I do feel like he is going to have some success. It may not be the exact same success that he had early on in his career, but again, if he's not careful, he will have a lot of legal trouble, and that's just something that I see. So I wish Soldier Boy nothing but the best and blessings, and I hope, he gets past all of this that's going on. But I do feel like he has some kind of feud going on with some other group of people. This could be like other rappers, that know him, but it's not good energy that follows it. And I do feel like there will be some kind of altercation, etc., if not careful. So all right, let's get into the next topic. All right, guys. So I'm not very familiar with a lot of the beautiful people in the UK, a lot of these celebrities, but this is Louis. I think it's like Louis or Louis. I'll just say Louis Tomlinson's 18-year-old sister, Felicity Tomlinson, and I couldn't get that. I don't know what you call that, the little hyphens or the little accents that go on top of the I's on her name. So I do apologize. That's or the E's on the E's rather, but I couldn't do it on the computer for whatever reason. So all I know is that Louis is a member or ex-member of One Direction, the boy band group. And so this is his sister. She has died at the age of 18 years old due to a heart attack, is according to the reports on the news. And according to the news reports, again, what is being fed to us in the media, there was no history of, well, she didn't have any drug in her system, and she had stopped smoking, and there was no alcohol. So they're saying that it was due to a heart attack. So when I tune into her, I really do feel like she may have had some eating disorder. It's too early to tell because I don't like to do mediumship readings on people that have passed just recently, but I do feel like it was not definitely drugs, but I do feel that she would have had some kind of problem with eating and how, again, self-love, loving herself completely. And the people out there listening to this need to understand, because I also suffered from an eating disorder, anorexia, when I was around age 16, which I would starve myself to lose weight. And I think a lot of you out there that have gone through that or have gone through bulimia or anorexia, again, would be able to relate to this and know that it's a very, very serious thing to starve yourself, because your heart, when you start depreciating your body, you start depriving it from essential nutrients and food. You lose the weight eventually, yes, because eventually what happens, your body starts using the fat and eating the fat and converting that into energy for it to survive. But at the same time that it's doing that, it's also affecting your heart and your organs. So I do feel like, apart from what she was like someone that was just very thin, I feel like she didn't take good care of herself as far as like eating. And I feel like she was also born with a weak heart. Like there was some kind of defect in her heart. Something about like a defective valve, or I don't know how you say that, a heart valve. There was something defected in one of the aortas of her heart. So I do feel like very much so this contributed, and plus any eating disorder that she would have had, coupled with any kind of stress that she would have been going through. Very beautiful girl. She was into fashion designing, I believe what they said. I also feel like she was into makeup and, just girly things. She was a very, very, very beautiful soul and still is. And I'll do eventually, if y'all want me to, like a mediumship reading on her. I just feel like they got it wrong, some of the facts that are omitted. But I can understand due to respects, the respect that they have for Louis and the family. They don't want to, talk about it too much. Whether or not she did use drugs at some point that would have contributed to her heart condition, I really want to say that she did at one time with her friends, and it was almost like having fun. So they did report like something about along the lines that she never did it or she wasn't doing that, but there was some kind of experiment that her experiencing, and taking some medicine, taking some drugs. I don't know exactly what kind of it was. It would be something that would speed up the heart rate as well. So whatever drug does that, I'm not familiar with drugs at all, but I don't feel like it was pot. It could have been something a little bit different, but she definitely would have tried that at one time. And I feel bad for Louis because I can feel his soul is aching right now, and there's just so much anger and resentment. But his sister loves him, and that's the message that I can give him from her, that she does love him, and again, he is going to get through this. But he's going to go through a lot of depression, and I feel like this is going to be reflected in any kind of career moves that he makes, whether it's like, music, performing. I feel like the vigor of life, the zest in his life is kind of like going to go out for a while. Like his light has been dimmed, because this was his baby, I guess his baby sister. But correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not sure how many siblings he has, etc. But she was just such a beautiful starseed. I feel like she was a starseed, but she wasn't really happy here on Earth either. So I feel like there was a lot of other issues that she was going through with her friends, a boyfriend. There was just some issues that she would have had going back and forth. So a lot of people are suffering right now. Her friends, his family, his fans. And my heart goes out to Louis and wishing him big angel hugs and the family. Because Felicity, was such a beautiful girl to be so young and be, and to for this to have happened to her. I feel like if they would have caught this, and sometimes that's the hard thing when you have like a heart defect, etc. Even if you go to like the doctors, sometimes unless you go like to a cardiologist, or they do extensive studying, like going into the actual structure, with with needles, etc., whatever they do, you won't be able to find a lot of these defects. So again, my heart goes out to them. So let's get into the reading. All right, this is French Montana. For those of you that are asking, he speaks French, Arabic, and English. So he's originally from Morocco. He is a rapper, a songwriter. He has been on the Kardashians, a reality show. And he's multi-talented, a really handsome guy. I feel like he is someone that's very passionate. He's a Scorpio. For those of you that I've done my research, I think it's November the 9th is his birthday, but y'all can comment in the comment section below. So again, being a Scorpio, he is someone that's very passionate when it comes to relationships. He is someone that is very secretive about things, and again, when they have this instinct of survival and making it through. And he's been in the headlines recently. Him and Fat Joe have been sued, for supposedly using a song, etc., stealing whatever, is going on in that area. So again, those are just facts going out there. When I tune into French Montana's soul, I get that he is someone that is always thriving and thirsty and hungry for success and money and fame. So he is doing a lot of the work that he's doing right now, but it's beyond that for him. I think a lot of other artists may do it more for the money. For him, it's like the spiritual type of bliss that he gets from his music and from producing that. And he really does love his fans, and I do feel like he keeps it real when it comes to knowing how blessed he is, and he doesn't take anything for granted. So I feel like, right now he is sitting in a good spot. There was a lot of, things going on about whether he dated or he had a relationship with Khloe Kardashian. I do feel like they had something going. I don't know it to this point if this was a relationship, so to speak, but they definitely did have something going on here. And was it sexually, etc.? I'm not gonna say, but again, most of y'all would be able to, if you ever followed their show or you followed news headlines, etc., you would know. Or but I do feel like he's very conflicted when it comes to love. That is something where he is wanting to settle down eventually with one person and just be with that person and start a family. And he was married to another lady, and he did have one child, I believe. But what I see for him right now is that, again, there's a lot of focus and hard work being put into his music, into his career. I do feel like there's this feeling, though, of being trapped into a situation. I don't feel like it's necessarily the legal issues that are going on with Fat Joe and that song, but I really feel like this is more so in his life. Perhaps, the scheduling, the demand of being an artist and being available to the record, to the people, to the public. Because I also feel like I believe he has his own record company as well, so, or he did, but what I get with him is that there's this feeling of being trapped in a situation, and it's kind of causing some unrest for him. Um, Kind of he looks and laughs at people that kind of judge him, or that think that he's a one-hit wonder and that he's going to go away anytime soon. This man is very, very talented. And the thing with Scorpios is that when it comes to their career, if they're very passionate about it, they are going to be successful regardless, no matter what it takes, and they're going to fight for it. And so that's what I see. Like, he's coming out of the situation right now in his career where for him, it's all about the numbers and the money that's coming in. And I see that, he is kind of, also having some kind of other battles or discussions with maybe other people that are male in his social circle. Him trying to cut out some people, pushing them away, but some people just don't learn the easy way. And so I feel like he's making some decisions. Like, he can see the people that are around him, that surround him, and he's very intuitive as well. So he knows which people are betraying, which ones are going to betray him, people that are not good for him. But I keep feeling this emptiness and this loss. So at some level, he's very connected to some man and some females that are in his group, whether this is like a stylist or, just his management team, his PR person. But I do feel like he's walking away this year or within the next year, and, more into 2020, walking away from some people and pushing some people that were key figures or key players in his life out. And this is something that's kind of causing him some mental unrest. And the reason that I'm getting that is because he wouldn't suspect or wouldn't think that these people that he considered friends or alliances would, kind of do this to him and talk crap about him and be deceitful. But again, he is going to kind of have this come out in the open. There will be some arguments, some discussions, and there's a sense of not feeling very good, in the next couple of months. As far as, like I said before, on the legal issues, he'll continue to have those as well. It's something just that comes with the territory when you're a rapper or you're an artist, a celebrity. You're going to, especially if you're a singer or a rapper, you're going to get a lot of legal issues with songs that you use, samples, people saying that, you stole an idea or a concept. It just comes with the territory, and it is what it is. But with him, there's a lot of people that are still judging him. I feel like he's going to continue to make the headlines, not so much in the legal issues, but also with other things going on, of the people that he surrounds himself with. But I do feel like he is in communication. There is a female that he's very interested in. And I do feel like there is some communication. So things are changing for the better, but I do foresee that he's not going to be happy when it comes to his love life. And I'm just going to, say it because I feel like whoever he's mixing himself with in trying to date or see or be with, this person is not good for him. And it's not going to lead to a good situation. So rather than following his instinct or his hormonal kind of pull towards this female, it's best to kind of redirect himself in a different way, because there's nothing but backstabbing, nothing but lies and betrayal from this person. And I feel like this is something that he will have to think about and really focus on, to see the real person, because some people can hide who they really are very, very well. And those of you that are listening to this will probably know or probably have experienced that at some level. But yeah, I do feel like also something about his living situation, I don't feel like it's the best. This could be more within his family or his inner social circle of friends, that are like family to him. There is a sense of disruption, like I said, going back, where something is gonna fall apart, and I feel like it's with friendships. Also feeling like he's going up against another rapper, maybe in the headlines, and talking smack about them in his songs, and also discrediting their work ethic, and there could be a song dedicated about that. As far as his money is concerned, he's going to continue to be successful in that area, but I just feel like there's going to be this void and emptiness in his love life. But within the next 2 to 5 years, I do feel like he will have another child. I do feel like this would probably be a little girl. And this will be with a partner that he does settle with eventually. But I feel like it's going to be back and forth with the person. That's just what is coming in from spirit. So again, I don't sugarcoat anything in the readings that I do for on celebrities, or in my private readings. So if you decide to ever get a private reading from me, expect nothing but the raw, honest truth, and no sugarcoating. So I want to thank all of you for tuning in. If you did like this celebrity mashup / French Montana psychic reading, please give it a thumbs up. Comment anything in the comment section below regarding people you want me to read, what you thought about the mashup, your point of view from, honey, on Mama June, and all the other situations that I covered. So again, if you did like it, hit the thumbs up, please. And also be sure to follow me on Facebook and Instagram at Psychic Medium Ray. And again, if you want to book a private reading, go to my website at www.raymondguzman.net/shop. And also don't forget to pick up an autographed copy of my book, Starseed Footsteps. It's available on my website. And again, don't forget Tea with Spirit, either show, and you can submit your question. You can be sure to catch the other episodes of Tea with Spirit for season 2. Blessings and love and light. Have an amazing, amazing day or night wherever you are in the world.